Goalpost Studios in downtown East Lansing, Michigan,
Hello and welcome to the Earn More, Keep More show.
where it's our job to give you tips, tricks, and strategies to earn more and keep more. I'm Dave McAndrews, and I believe that we should focus our marketing on messages that are all about our clients so that we can connect with them in a way that they can understand.
And I'm Matt Love, and I believe in being efficient with our companies so that we are able to keep more of what we make.
Me up beautifully, and that's why I stay plugged in and I always contribute to my community.
Matt, did you know that there are a lot of people coming to our webpage and our Facebook group, and we're starting to get some really good feedback on our New Year's resolution challenge. Now, most of the New Year's resolutions out there have already died. We've gotten to we've gotten past mid-January.
Yeah, like my gym membership.
Yes, gym membership not going too well. Even though you're gonna get back on that bike, and you're gonna get ready for that triathlon this summer. I feel
right.
it.
That's right. To all the triathletes out there, I got a half Ironman coming up, so wish me luck.
What we need from our listeners is more interaction and more connection with you. We really want to hear some ideas that we can address in future podcasts to really figure out what are some of the things that you are doing to earn more and keep more. And obviously, we're doing our darndest to help add to that and help give you a few little nuggets, a few little tips, tricks, rocking out the strategies in order to help you do just that.
Let's play a game.
I want to take you on a road trip, Matt.
All right, here we go. Where are we going?
We are going on my family road trip that we took over Thanksgiving break this past year.
Yeah.
Got into the McAndrews van.
Yeah.
McAndrews van, by the way, is the 15-passenger van that my family travels in now.
Nice. Is that the one that says free candy on the side?
It does look a little bit like I'm abducting people.
Yeah.
But all of those children actually belong to me.
We're going to edit that crap out.
So the McAndrews van, the 15-passenger van that I take my family of 7 on trips across the country.
Beautiful.
Anyway, we went down to Florida, spent it with the family, and then made our way back to Michigan. On the way back to Michigan, I have this thing where I have to look at billboards. Do you know what the percentage of really effective billboards is out there?
I have no idea.
Damn near zero.
Yeah, I would believe that.
Really, really close. Maybe slightly above that.
Yeah.
The reason that the billboards are a problem for me is because I have this curse of knowledge.
Okay.
I have this curse of knowledge that tells me that billboard has to tell me what you do, what problem you solve for me, and it has to tell me how I do business with you.
Yeah.
Now, a billboard is a really crappy medium to try to do that with. Because of the fact that I'm driving at 60, 70, 80, maybe 90, but McAndrews van has a V10, by the way.
Nice.
That can
6
move
gallons
pretty
a
well.
mile?
6 gallons a mile, if we're lucky. But I bought a hybrid also, so it evens out.
Okay,
It's totally offset my carbon neutral footprint.
You need that. I mean, you don't have a family, you have a basketball team.
This is very true.
Yeah.
Anyway, these billboards really can't do that. They can't tell me what they do. They often don't tell me how I'm going to be able to do business. I'm traveling at 70, 80 miles an hour. All that they can hope to do is to build a little bit of brand awareness. Do you know what type of company brand awareness works for?
I don't.
Big damn companies.
Huge companies. It has to be huge companies.
Yeah. If you take the B in big company, let's translate that to billion-dollar company.
Gotcha.
So if you are a billion-dollar company, you can go ahead and spend some decent money on billboards because all you're trying to do is get eyeballs out there in front of your brand.
Yeah.
And just by the sight of your brand, people are going to understand what that is and how to do business with you.
Sure. If I drive by a Nike billboard, I wouldn't think anything of it. I've seen those all the time.
Absolutely. You know who Nike is. You know how to do business with them by going online or going to your local sporting goods store, whatever. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about who's actually on these billboards. These billboards are sometimes the entire marketing budget of small companies.
Yeah.
Billboard salesperson, I assume there are still these people. No offense to you if you are a billboard salesperson, more power to you. I'm very impressed with your ability to sell old media in a digital age.
Exactly. There's no reason to apologize here. Come on, that's
Respect.
That's 1980. That's 1980.
That's respect, okay?
That's right.
If you can sell old media
You know, I didn't
in
think
the
I saw.
digital age.
I don't think I saw a billboard on the drive over here because I was looking at my iPhone the whole time.
Exactly.
But I digress.
You were flipping through Facebook ads
Yeah, exactly.
while you were driving instead of looking at billboards. The companies that are, by and large, using these billboards are actually these smaller companies. And let's even define that, the smaller companies. Honestly, it's a lot of folks who we want to reach with our message, which is these business owners and executives of $1 to $20 million companies, right?
Yeah.
They're local. They have a particular presence. They want to get the word out, but they don't know how.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know.
And when you don't know how, and you don't know what you don't know,
Right.
you will take an option like, hey, I got this billboard here. It's only $3,000 a year.
Yeah, it's not much.
It's not much. I was like, you know what? And this is my area.
Yeah.
I can get local traffic. But it doesn't work because they aren't able to express in that 80-mile-an-hour drive-through what you do, how you address the problems of your customer, and how to do business with you. With the exception of one. I did find one.
Oh yeah, what'd that look like?
It looked like this. Your wife's hot. The air conditioner's broken. Call us. That one, I was like, okay, it kind of plays on a couple of different levels. It's a little bit funny.
Did it show a pretty lady?
It did not.
Oh, okay.
Because they spent smartly, instead of showing a hot wife, which again, think about the psychology behind this.
Different
all right?
advertising.
So if I'm showing you a picture of a hot wife, that's not my wife,
Right.
right? They were actually smart. You know what they spent 80% of that billboard on?
The text.
Their phone number.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So I know what they do.
Yep.
I know how they address my problem because I have a hot wife.
Yeah.
And they have a great call to action.
I would agree. Your wife is very hot, Davis.
Absolutely. Very, very proud of it. That one worked. The other 99%
Yeah.
did not work.
So they're missing because you're driving by at 90 miles an hour. You can't get those 3 messages out.
Let's take it off of the side of the road and let's go to the majority of these same small business websites. And what do you see? What do you
Gosh.
see when you look at the websites of your clients? What do you see?
All sorts of stuff.
All sorts of stuff. Do you see a very clear...
No, it's text and fonts and paragraphs. And
Yeah, I got paragraphs that explain that we were founded in 1847.
Yeah. I have not read since junior year of college. Senior year, I don't even think I read. So like when I go to a website where it's all text, I do like one word a sentence.
Absolutely. And there's a reason for that. Because your brain, again, this goes back to one of our earlier episodes. Your brain is meant to survive and thrive. That's all it wants to do.
Yep.
And it has to do it in as minimal calories as possible. And again, what did I say that I want that billboard to do? I want it to tell me what you do,
Yep.
how you address my problem,
Yep.
and how to do business with you.
Most importantly, how to engage.
So if you don't have those three things, if you're listening at home, go to your website right now. If you don't do those three things, the difference between driving down the highway at 80 miles an hour and surfing the web at 150 miles an hour is your attention span is probably even less.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to do those three things immediately.
Yeah.
In the same way that, hey, you have a hot wife, here's the phone number.
Right.
Okay? But that's not where you're allowed to stop. That is the bare minimum that any business owner should require from their website. because with their website, they have a 24/7 unpaid salesperson.
Totally.
So the bare minimum that any business owner should expect from their website is to be able to explain what they do, how it addresses the problem of their customer, and how to do business with them. That is the three things that must be on a billboard. Is the three things that must be on what I call a postcard website. So now you have a postcard that you can hand people. You know, it's that concept of, oh, go to my website. It's a postcard. It gives a simple explanation of what we do. The next level from the postcard is the platform. If you're thinking about utilizing your website as a salesperson, how much does a salesperson make per year?
Well, it depends.
Pick an industry.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Call
Pick
it
somebody.
60 grand.
Okay, so a low-end salesperson in a medium sophistication industry
Yeah.
makes $60,000 a year. If you think of your website as a $60,000 a year employee, what kind of results are you getting from it? The only way that you can actually convert ROI from that website is to utilize it as a platform. And when we're talking about platforms, we have to have that clarity. We have to be able to explain to people what we do, how it communicates to the problems of our customers, and how to do business with us, right? But where are people going to connect with that? What was the last person you hired to do something?
Personal assistant.
A personal assistant. And what process did you go through to get that personal assistant?
A long, arduous one.
A long, arduous, painful process?
Yeah, you interview
Did you
all-
use like a ZipRecruiter or something like that? Or
Yeah, as far as how they got in touch with us, yeah. Yep, we used every platform, all sorts of stuff.
You used all sorts of platforms in
Yeah.
order to get that.
Many.
So in order to scratch your itch, and solve your problem, we're not going to scratch. The personal assistant is not going to be scratching any itches. Just for the record, let's keep that clear. But in order to hire your very professional personal assistant, you went through.
She has a back scratcher right on her desk.
Business professional.
You went through a process where you're going to a ton of different platforms to figure out who's going to be the best match for you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So in the same way, the customers that are looking to do business with you as a client are going through a lot of different channels. They are going through their friends. They're talking to their friends, looking for recommendations of who to use. They are going through people that are in your industry and figuring out, does this person know what they're talking about? They're going through Google searches, trying to find that needle in the haystack to find the right person at the right time. They're going to social media. They're going through every channel imaginable in order to get that information. If you are thinking of your website as a $60,000 employee,
Yeah.
that employee better be working on multiple channels because that's where the customers are at.
Yeah, agreed.
And if you're using that multiple channel approach, you can utilize your website as the platform to drive it all back to. How many social media accounts do you have?
Multiple.
11, right?
11, yeah.
I have approximately 11 as well. And for some things I'm looking at LinkedIn, some things I'm looking at Facebook, some things I'm looking at Twitter. And I'm going through all of those different things. And depending on what I'm looking for will depend which is the best fit for that.
Yeah.
And I'm asking questions into the Google machine. I'm going to the interweb. Did you know that the interweb is no longer just the lining of your swim shorts?
Really?
Yes, it's a true story. You can go to this thing called Google and find the answer to any question there is.
I think anyone who's not taking advantage of this is really missing the boat. But the thing that you're identifying here is that a lot of people are taking advantage ineffectively.
They're
Because-
putting a billboard on the superhighway.
Exactly. So they're
Yeah.
putting that billboard up. People go on there and they fly by it through the Google machine, and they never even see it because of those 3 points. And those 3 points were They don't get a chance to see what you do. They don't know the problem you solve, and they sure as heck don't know how to get in touch with you.
And you're not even getting found on Google.
Yeah.
Here's the next level. In a past life, before I was doing something that I enjoy a lot more,
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to be the national sales manager for a company that sold equipment.
Wow.
So as that sales manager, we had a problem. The problem was,
That's good.
for 3 years in a row, we had hit a plateau.
Yeah.
We had good returns. We were at $18 million of revenue, $17.5 million of revenue, $19 million of revenue, but we were stagnant. And it was at that point in time that we really focused in on what was happening in the world, and that was the fact that if you are able to answer people's questions on the interwebs, you will get results in terms of searches. At that point of time, so this content concept or inbound marketing concept was brand new. We were the first to do it in our particular industry.
Yeah.
I think I was there another 3.5 years. And by the time I left, we were pushing 60.
Wow.
And the reason we made that jump is we started answering the questions that our customers had. When we start answering the questions your customers have, now you are showing up very differently in results. It's no longer, hey, I'm a lawnmower guy in this area of the country. That's first level stuff. We're taking it to the next level, and we are answering those questions that we get asked all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, we now create blogs and pieces of content, depending on what your particular industry is. By doing that, now you can have something of interest to share with your potential customers. So not only do you have it exists on the internet, but you can utilize that same information, push it into your social channels, push it into your email campaigns, and now you're not just telling me this is what you need to buy from me and this is the price.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's 101 stuff. What we became in that instance, and what I started to do with many of my clients, is train to become a teaching organization. If your company, if that $60,000 employee that you don't actually have to pay anything, but you're completely missing the boat if you're not seriously investing in,
Mm-hmm.
is not providing content of value to your customers that are answering questions that your customers have, you're operating as a postcard.
Yeah.
You're operating as a billboard on the side of the road. It is not an effective methodology today.
Mm-hmm.
And really, one of the things that I want the listeners to focus on is take a look at your website. First off, first level of business, if you can't tell what you do and how you answer people's problems, and focus in on how to do business with you, you may as well just pull it down.
Yeah, I totally agree.
You should pull it down and start over and put something that actually has a chance at working. The next level, if you address that, which, come to find out, a lot of people, like probably a majority of companies out there, are not even addressing that. So we actually developed a significant portion of our business to address those initial problems before we can even start thinking about that next level of being a platform. But if you start thinking and operating as a platform from the beginning and look at everything that you're doing in marketing. So the term marketing is so massive because it encapsulates everything, right?
It does. Yeah, it's huge.
It's branding, it's image, it's what
you wear, it's the car
what
you
you
drive.
wear, it's the car you drive.
Yeah, it's the cologne.
Yes. So all of that is part of the marketing message. But if you don't have an operating system for that marketing message, and you aren't utilizing that that platform in a way that is taking advantage of your 24/7 unpaid sales employee, you're really missing the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. I mean, if your websites are working whether we like it or not, it's working when your clients go to bed at night, that website's still up and working, and people, on the other side of the country can still see and learn about that website.
Absolutely.
And that's a huge opportunity.
A huge missed opportunity for the majority of business owners.
Yeah.
And the thing that I hear the most when somebody doesn't understand kind of that platform mentality is, oh, you know what, we really need to drive revenue this quarter before we can do anything with that.
Yep. When you say drive to the platform, do you reference so there's all these social media outlets, everything that you share, for instance, you put a video up on YouTube, does that video get connected to your website somehow?
Absolutely.
Does that video get previewed on Instagram somehow?
Absolutely.
So at one video, do you share one thing on all of these platforms, and it all goes back to what?
Back to the website.
Back to your website, where it's a clear call to action and a clear value proposition so if I go to the website based on the video that I saw on YouTube, it's going to tell me exactly how to engage with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the whole goal behind it. You don't create a content program for the sake of content program. You create a content program to drive sales.
Yeah.
The reason that the majority of marketing does not work is because people think of marketing and sales as two different silos, and they aren't.
Right.
They're the same thing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
If your marketing team does not spend a significant amount of time with your sales team, you're doing them a disservice. If your sales team does not believe that marketing exists to make their life better and get them more prospects, you're doing it wrong. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing.
How can a company kind of make all of that congruent? Like, if this is the missing piece to take the business to the next level so you can earn more, how does a company take action, and what do they do to make that message more congruent?
Well, the very first thing you do is you have to address the basics. You have to make sure, number one, it's clear what we do. A lot of companies can't even answer that question.
Yeah.
A lot of companies, oh, well, we do this and we do this and we do this and things, and nobody really understands it. So clarity and message is absolutely the first thing. The next level is getting people within your organization to start answering the questions of the clients, of the customers, and then taking those answers and then finding ways to post them onto your website and share them.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Wow.
Because if you're not addressing the questions of your clients, you're missing a huge amount of opportunity. We talk about compound interest, and we talk about those types of things on this podcast. There is actually a concept called compounding content, because once your content is out into the world, it is building on itself. It's gaining views, it's gaining popularity, it's continuing to move up the charts on Google. When that question is asked into the Google machine,
yeah,
it is now being reverted back to you in a way that now they're in your ecosystem, they're in your group, your platform, and now they can learn all about what you do.
Now, what you're talking about kind of reminds me of what I think of the idea of value. I believe that money follows value. If we can create value for people, we're going to get money. It'll follow. And then you mentioned this website that'll drive sales. But at the same time, ultimately, is the goal sales or is the goal traffic? You're looking for the eyes of people so that they can go on there. And then as you become this resource because of the value you provide, eventually when they think of that thing that you offer, you're the person that they go to.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing that I would say is it can be very industry specific. I don't just want eyeballs. I want the right eyeballs.
Sure.
And so for that reason, I'm not just throwing out, some viral unicorn poop video. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to utilize information that is actually valuable and educational. It's that concept of teaching organization.
Yeah.
That we really wrap it back to.
And you're getting the who you are out there, your why, your why
Absolutely.
gets spread. There's a great company out of California. It's called the Foundation Works. And if you were to talk to the owner, he would say that he owns an advertising and marketing company that just happens to do concrete foundations. And it's the truth. They, not only do they have a great logo, they have a great website. They are the go-to when it comes to redoing foundations in California. The sales are easy. They take care of themselves because they're providing value to all of their prospects or people that see their website. People know exactly what that company's about because the website is done so well.
Absolutely. And when I first learned some of these concepts, it was actually from a guy by the name of Marcus Sheridan. And Marcus ran a pool company. And not just a pool company, but a prefabricated pool company.
Nice.
Okay? So a super narrow niche in the world, right?
Yeah, totally.
He was able to answer people's questions. And he did it from a point of real weakness because, sales were flat. They were on the verge of going out of business. He made a choice to begin doing this process of creating the content that answers people's questions and change that around. And he taught us in our industry. We took those lessons to heart and began doing it. Now you have a lot of people thinking about inbound marketing, and it's a term out there that people are beginning to understand, but people don't have the place to start. You have to have your basics down. You have to create the platform in order to begin to really go down that road and really gain the advantage of compound content.
Huge. I think that's massive to identify.
One of the things that often comes back to me whenever I'm trying to explain to somebody the value of their content is the fact that if I give away my secrets, then anybody could do it. It's not true.
Not true at all.
First of all, it's already out there.
Right.
And if you think that you are a unique and special snowflake in the universe, I'm sorry to disappoint you. It's back to some Fight Club reference. You are not unique.
Exactly.
I am the all-seeing, all-knowing crap of the world. It's out there. Mid-2000s, Google decided who would win and who would lose. And the decision was made on behalf of those who share will win. Those who hold everything so close to their chest that nobody can see what's going on the inside will lose. It's already done.
And that's all search engine optimization type
Absolutely.
stuff. Yeah.
You share, you win. The question is, but there are trade secrets in particular areas. That's true. But if people don't know that you have the trade secrets, what good are they? Mm-hmm. If you aren't being able to interact, I don't know if you know this, but I am the world's greatest vegetarian chicken pit barbecue master.
Wow.
True story.
That's cool.
I was given the legacy by my grandfather of how to cook some of the world's best barbecue chicken.
Okay, I believe you. I've seen the barbecue pit.
You have seen the pit, okay? So one of the best things that my grandfather ever taught me was you got to give people a taste. If you don't give people a taste, they will never know how good it is, and they won't have any use for it.
Yep.
And that's the thing with sharing that really changes the game, because you can give a taste of the knowledge that you have without giving away the recipe. And that's a balance that you have to find, but it can easily be done. But if you're not sharing anything, you lose. Google decide that's over.
Right.
Like, give people a taste. Because if you give people a taste, if you become that teaching organization, utilize that platform mentality, you can significantly change your business.
I think this is crucial because this is the reason we started this whole show, to get people to explain problems they didn't know that existed.
Exactly.
So that other people can see the problems that other people have seen, and maybe they go, well, gosh, I have that same type of problem. Give them a taste. Give everybody a taste. This is why I love with your business. You're helping people grow by doing things they didn't know they were doing wrong, and I get to show people this is how everybody thinks in the financial world because the financial institutions and the advisors teach them that way. When the truth is totally different than what everybody teaches it, because The institutions are set to succeed. And for a small business owner like you're explaining, no one gives us that outline of how to succeed, how to go viral. How do I get someone's attention and have them take action? These are crucial elements to being able to earn more. You mentioned the UG test.
Yeah.
So the UG test is, explain how that works, and then how did you create that?
So the UG test is very simple. A caveman needs to be able to open up a laptop and be able to know what you do and how to do business with you within 10 seconds.
Oh.
UG. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And it's just that simple. But once you pass the UG test, there's a whole nother level.
Yeah, but starters,
Because
you got to get started.
You got to start there. But the average consumer that is buying a particularly complex products, right? So people who are selling services and things like that, they aren't reading just 2 pages of your website. They're reading 16, 17, 40.
Right.
People are interested in what they are interested in, and if you explain it better than anybody else in the market, you win. It's a principle that my daughter yells at me for saying, but I call it the tallest midget. So if in your market you can be the tallest midget,
Yeah.
you win.
Yeah.
Because there are so many markets that don't put any effort.
Oh, I mentioned a concrete company.
Absolutely.
Right.
Concrete, it's a beautiful example.
Yeah.
What are the other concrete companies in LA doing?
Yeah.
They're putting in concrete. What is he doing? He's teaching people about the
All
process.
of those things. Yeah. So he's providing that value.
He's providing the value.
Yeah.
And guess what? If people need a concrete foundation, is that something that they're just, clicking on Amazon?
Yeah. True. Very true.
No. They need to know a hell of a lot of stuff in
Yeah.
order to make that type of decision.
Yeah. You can't get that on Amazon. You can't get that on
Absolutely.
on Facebook or anything like that.
And that's why the majority of the business owners that are listeners that you and I work with, they have a business like that.
Yeah.
Because that's how they still have a business. If you aren't doing something that is unique and specialized, if you can be assimilated into the Amazon board, you're done. It's not going to work out. I mean, AI has already happened.
Yeah.
Okay? And it will continue to happen. But in this particular, the artificial intelligence that we're after here is the algorithms that exist on Google that can pay you dividends if you do the work up front.
I love it. So get the content, get the what you do, what problem you solve, and how to engage up, flashing lights so people see it as they drive by.
Homework.
Here's the takeaway.
So step 1, take the test. See how you're doing on that
The UG
very
test.
first level.
That's right, the UG test.
See how you're doing at that very first level. If you have that nailed, let's move on to the next step. If you don't have that nailed, let's go back to the drawing board, because believe it or not, this is the thing that kills me these days, is people think that their websites are built into stone.
Yeah.
And they're built into freaking Etch-a-Sketch.
Can't change them.
They're built into Etch-a-Sketch, and you need to be changing it every single day.
Drop the mic.
Matt, we just turned the calendar from 18 to 19, and whenever that happens, once a year we have an opportunity, and that opportunity is to really focus in and make some decisions about our lives and make resolutions. And the resolution that I would be honored if everybody who's out there listening could go and really take to heart and start thinking about in a really serious way is the resolution to earn more and keep more.
Absolutely. There's only 2 ways to increase your business. The first way is to increase your sales. Everybody knows this. Increasing your sales is hard to do. It might mean you spend more money. It might mean you take more risk. You have to change some things to increase the level of production that you're creating. The only other way to increase your business is to reduce the cost it took you to get there. So in your resolutions, there's one of 2 things you should be focusing on. How are you going to get to the next level as far as sales go? And given the sales that you've already made, how can you reduce your cost?
Let's do it. Let's get out there and earn more and keep more.
This has been a Goalpost production.
That's it for us. We are your hosts, Dave McAndrews and Matt Love. Our executive producer and creative guru is Jennifer McKinstry. Our social media director is Mark Farnes. And a very special thank you to Lansing's own Jose Moore for providing the music.
Thanks for listening.